In this example, we're just going to simplify, combine any like terms that we can, but also create one single fraction should there be any fractions in the problem. So I'll first address the exponent that's on the quantity 1 over x. And since it is just a quantity of division, I am allowed to take that squared exponent and apply it to the 1 and apply it to the x. If there were any addition or subtraction, you would not be able to do that. But since it's just a quotient, we can do that. So that makes 1 squared on the top, which is just 1, and the denominator is x squared. Everything else is the same for that step. 3 plus 2 times the quantity of 1 over x squared minus x. We can multiply the 2 and the 1 over x squared. 2 is a whole number. It's like 2 over 1. So that would just put the 2 on top over the x squared minus x. And now we need to get a common denominator. The only denominator that we currently have is this x squared. So what we're going to do is make the other two terms have that denominator of x squared. And the way that you do that is simply, since there is no denominator, is you just make a fraction and do x squared on the denominator, but also multiply on the numerator. So you're not changing the value of that term, you're only changing the way it looks. So we have 3x squared over x squared plus 2 over x squared. And I'm going to do the same thing to this last term. I'm going to put an x squared in the denominator, but I also have to multiply an x squared in the numerator. So that again, I'm not changing the value of this term, I'm just changing the way that it looks so that I can have a common denominator. So that makes me have x cubed divided by x squared. And now, because there is that common denominator of x squared, you are allowed to simply take the numerators and perform that operation. And that would end up being 3x squared plus 2 minus x cubed all over the denominator of x squared. None of the terms in the numerator can be simplified. You could rearrange them if you like in ascending order on exponents. That would look like negative x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2 all over x squared. But that's really more of a mathematical preference. It's not a necessity. It's just a lot of times you'll see math problems with the exponents in descending order. But either one of those should be accepted. And I wouldn't break them back apart because it will just undo what we got through working on to try to put them into one common denominator. So that should be the final simplified answer.